Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Lagos, there lived a young woman named Olivia. She was graceful but humble, quiet but observant. To those who saw her every day, she was nothing more than a housemaid in a grand mansion. She woke before dawn, cleaned the compound, served the family at the dining table, and carried herself with the soft dignity of someone who never complained. Yet, hidden behind her gentle eyes was a truth that no one in that household could have imagined. The mansion belonged to Chief Okoro, a man known for his wealth and influence. His wife, Madame Florence, loved to flaunt her riches, always dressed in the latest lace and jewelry. Their son, Michael, was handsome and charming, but careless with his words, and he treated Olivia as though she was invisible. She was often called just the maid. Nothing more, nothing less. But isn't it funny, my friends, how life has a way of turning the tables? One evening, after the family had eaten, Madame Florence sat with her friends in the living room, laughing loudly, their voices filling the air. Olivia entered quietly to collect the plates. Instead of thanking her, one of the women smirked and whispered, "Florence, is this the maid you said has been living under your roof for 2 years? Look at her! She even carries herself as though she is somebody. You better watch her out. These housemaids can be dangerous." The room erupted in laughter. Madame Florence shook her head. "Ah, this one. She is nothing. She has no family, no background, nothing. I only keep her here out of pity. She is just a maid." Olivia bowed her head, holding the plates tightly, but inside her heart, she whispered words of strength. One day, the truth will shine. Now, in that same city, there was a powerful Manyong, brilliant and respected far beyond Nigeria's borders. His name was Obina, the new CEO of a multinational company. Rumors spread quickly about his intelligence and his ability to transform businesses. Everyone wanted to meet him. Everyone wanted his favor. Yet, no one knew much about his private life, and that secrecy only fueled curiosity. Chief Okoro was desperate to meet him, because the family's company was struggling. They needed Obina's investment to survive. So, when news came that Obina himself would visit the mansion for a private dinner, the entire household went into a frenzy. Madame Florence ordered new curtains. Michael rehearsed his English greetings in the mirror. The cook prepared the best jollof rice and pepper soup. And Olivia, she was ordered to scrub every corner until the floor shone like glass. The night arrived. Guests filled the house. Laughter echoed, glasses clinked, and music played softly in the background. Everyone waited eagerly for the CEO. Then, the sound of a car horn at the gate silenced the room. He had arrived. The doors opened, and in walked a tall, confident man in a sharp navy blue suit. His presence commanded attention. Madame Florence rushed forward, bowing slightly. "Welcome, sir. You are most welcome to our humble home." All eyes followed Obina as he stepped inside. But then something unexpected happened. His gaze locked on Olivia, who stood quietly by the corner, holding a tray of drinks. For a moment, his confident smile softened, and his eyes filled with recognition. "Olivia," he said, his voice calm but filled with surprise. The entire room froze. Madame Florence blinked, confused. "Excuse me, sir, do you know her?" Obina smiled, shaking his head slowly, as though marveling at fate. "Know her. This young woman is no maid. She is the reason I am standing where I am today. Without her, I would not be Obina, the CEO you see before you." The room erupted in whispers. Michael frowned, looking from Obina to Olivia. Madame Florence's face burned with embarrassment. And so, my friends, the truth began to unravel. Years before this moment, when Obina was just a struggling student, he had met Olivia at the university. She was brilliant, always at the top of her class, but she carried herself with humility. They studied together in the library, shared dreams under the night sky, and while others chased quick wealth, Olivia spoke about patience, honesty, and building a life of value. When Obina almost dropped out because of financial struggles, it was Olivia who secretly gave him her savings to pay his fees. She believed in him when no one else did. But life, as it often does, turned against her. Her parents died in a tragic accident, leaving her with nothing. With no relatives willing to help, she was forced to take up work wherever she could, eventually finding herself in Chief Okoros's mansion as a maid. She never told anyone about her past. She never spoke of her dreams. She simply worked in silence, carrying her memories and dignity like hidden jewels. And now, here she was, standing face to face with a man who had become a CEO, the man who owed his success to her kindness. Obina stepped closer, his voice steady but filled with emotion. Olivia's more than what you see. She is a woman of wisdom, of sacrifice, of strength. And today, I will honor her before everyone. The guests gasped. Madame Florence's lips trembled. Michael shifted uncomfortably. Obina turned to the stunned guests, his voice echoing with authority. Do not let appearances deceive you. For too long, people have judged Olivia by her clothes, her duties, and her silence. But true worth is not hidden by titles or wealth. Tonight, I will show you who she truly is. He reached into his pocket and brought out a small velvet box. The room gasped as he opened it, revealing a simple but elegant diamond ring. Olivia, he said softly, you once believed in me when I was nothing. You lifted me when I was ready to fall. I built my empire with your words guiding me. Tonight, I ask, will you walk beside me? Not as a maid, but as my partner for life. The hall erupted. Some clapped in shock. Others whispered in disbelief. Madame Florence nearly fainted, clutching her wrapper. Michael's mouth hung open, unable to process what he was seeing. Olivia's eyes filled with tears. Her voice trembled. Obina, after everything, you still remember me. He smiled. How could I forget? You are the reason my story even began. Olivia hesitated, her heart racing. She looked around at the faces that had mocked her, the ones that had dismissed her as nothing. Then she turned back to Obina, her voice strong now. Yes, I will walk with you. The room exploded with applause, but not everyone was happy. Chief Okoro, though smiling on the outside, was burning inside. How could a maid this girl he had overlooked suddenly rise above his entire family? Madame Florence's pride shattered like broken glass. She whispered angrily to her husband, this cannot be. How can we allow this embarrassment in our home? But fate had already chosen its path. From that day on, Olivia's life transformed. She moved from the servants' quarters into Obina's world of boardrooms, luxury, and respect. Yet she carried the same humility, always remembering the days of scrubbing floors and wiping tears alone. People who once laughed at her now bowed in greeting. The same society ladies who mocked her now sought her advice. But the real twist, my friends, was yet to come. Some weeks after the engagement, Obina invited Chief Okoro's family to his office for a grand meeting. They thought it was for business, a chance to save their failing company. But when they arrived, they found Olivia seated at the head of the table, dressed in a sleek suit, her confidence glowing. Obina introduced her with pride. Meet Olivia. Not only my fiancée, but also the new majority shareholder of this company. Gasps filled the room. Madame Florence nearly dropped a handbag. Michael's eyes widened in disbelief. Yes, Obina continued. What you don't know is that Olivia made wise investments years ago with the little she had. And I, trusting her wisdom, ensured she had shares in all my companies. Today, she owns more than half of what I built. She is not just a maid. She is your future. The silence was heavy. Chief Okoro finally found his voice, trembling. Olivia, forgive us! We did not know. Olivia looked at them, her eyes calm but firm. You saw me every day, yet you never truly saw me. You measured me by what I did, not who I was. This is the danger of pride. It blinds the heart. Her words cut deep, and no one dared speak again. And so, my friends, the maid became a queen in her own right. Not because she sought revenge, but because destiny always lifts those who walk in truth and humility. Obina and Olivia's story spread across Lagos like wildfire. inspiring many to look beyond appearances and treat every soul with dignity. But remember this: not every hidden jewel will remain buried forever. The stone you reject today might be the cornerstone of your future tomorrow. So, when you meet someone, whether dressed in rags or richest, treat them with kindness. For you never know if the maid in your house is tomorrow's CEO, or if the quiet servant is the one holding the key to your destiny. And that, my friends, is the tale of Olivia, the maid who is far more than she seemed. If this story touched your heart, do not keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and tell us, have you ever misjudged someone only to later discover their true worth? And if you loved this tale, you will be amazed by our next story. What's really behind a 58-year-old man marrying a 23-year-old woman? Don't miss it. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications